begin tonight's broadcast to dead in fatal shooting in Dennery over the weekend. Lisa Jawahir outlines her vision for Castries Southeast as the SLP completes its slate of candidates for the next general election. And reopening St. Jude Hospital and universal healthcare are top priorities for the current administration.
This is the Hot 7 Night News.
Good evening. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page, and our YouTube channel, Caribbean Hot 7 TV News. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna, thank you so much for joining us. And now to our top story. 2 men were shot and killed in separate incidents in Dennery over the weekend. This capped off a week of deadly shootings which have pushed the island's homicide count to 58 for the year so far. Police reported that at about 11 a.m., gunmen opened fire on an SUV in the first incident. Hours later, another male victim was targeted in a separate shooting. Officers believe the 2 incidents may be connected. One of the victims has been identified as 26-year-old Shoin Malcolm Augustine, a resident of Dennery Village who died after being shot in the chest. The St. Lucia Labour Party launched its candidate for Castries Southeast, Senator Lisa Jawahir, in a rally at Otsa on Sunday. The event saw solidarity motorcades from SLP constituencies groups from across the island, live entertainment, and platform speeches from fellow SLP candidates and Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre.
Castries Southeast, St. Lucia, good night, good night, good night. Bonsoir tout le monde. Welcome to the most beautiful constituency of St. Lucia. I am so happy to welcome you to the heartbeats of our country, Castries Southeast. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you for your love, your energy, your presence, and most of all, your belief in what we can build together. Let me thank those of you who wanted to witness our first launch in person. And to those who are not able to, but are viewing the live, a special good evening to you. Castries Southeast, you are unstoppable.
At her official launch as the SLP candidate to contest the Castries Southeast seat in the next general election, Lisa Jawahir thanked constituents and St. Lucia for the support and love shown to her since the announcement of her candidacy.
Tonight, I stand before you deeply grateful, energized, and so full of hope. I know that the love and support I see here is a demonstration of what exists in our constituency and throughout St. Lucia.
Recounting her attachment to the constituency, Jawahir laid out her vision for Castries Southeast. Drawing on her 5 years as a senator, she pledged to build on her experience to deliver tangible results.
Friends, I stand here not as someone who does not know you or know your story, but as a daughter of this soil, shaped by its challenges, lifted by its people, and inspired by its possibilities.
Jawahir announced her long-time vision for the constituency, which ranges from enhanced infrastructure to stronger representation in Parliament that directly responds to the constituents' needs.
I have always imagined a constituency where young people have real opportunity and not just talk. I I've imagined a constituency where community centers come alive with learning and music, revolutionized support to our farmers, deliberate support for the elderly, stronger police presence, a constituency where our people feel respected and our children feel seen, where our people, skilled and talented, can feel proud to say, I am from Castries Southeast. This has been my desire for our constituency. This is not a fairy tale. I know this story well because it is my own. The government that we are all part of does not just speak about changing lives, it makes change happen. I am a success story of policies that put people first. And you can be a success story that your family and your community can be proud of. From the youth economy to universal health coverage, to making our temporary workers permanent, to implementing a minimum wage, Labour continues to deliver.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, addressing supporters, framed Joahe's candidacy as part of the Labour Party's broader commitment to delivering results and forging unity.
When I see, and when I've lived to see it, the day when people like Lisa can run elections for the St. Lucia Labour Party, I am a happy man. My sisters and my brothers, the next elections are possibly the most important elections ever held in St. Lucia. Because moving forward in the next election, we have to ensure that we do not go back. We cannot go back. We cannot go back to what we had before 2021, between 2016 and 2021. We cannot go back. And that is why Lisa has decided that she's going to be part of that movement moving forward with you, the people of St. Lucia, and moving forward with the St. Lucia Labour Party.
As the crowd dispersed, Lisa Joahe's launch made clear that her campaign will be about vision and action. With committed leadership, careful planning, and the support of the leadership of the Labour Party, she has a set path to translate promises into progress for Castries Southeast and affirm her role in shaping St. Lucia's future. For the Hot 7 TV News, Oliviera Edward reporting.
In related news, chairman of the St. Lucia Labour Party and Minister for Health, Moses Jean-Baptiste, has reaffirmed that the government's top priority remains the continuous upgrading of healthcare services across the island. He says the long-term goal is to deliver a universal healthcare system that spares citizens the burden of out-of-pocket expenses.
Speaking at the launch of SLP candidate Lisa Joahe at Otsa on Sunday evening, Minister for Health Moses Jean-Baptiste emphasized that the Labour government has placed healthcare at the center of its development agenda. He said every St. Lucian, regardless of where they live, should have reliable access to health services.
The first objective is to ensure that we continue to reform the health sector so that St. Lucians can spend less from their pockets to access health care. And we have already started. We have already started by improving processes within the Ministry of Health and also how individuals access health care. We have started by introducing new services where individuals, where St. Lucians do not have to pay out of pocket. You have heard a lot about our services in universal health coverage.
The health minister stated that St. Lucia is already seeing improvements under the current administration. He outlined the government's vision of universal health care as a system built on equity and accessibility. He reassured citizens that they would not have to shoulder heavy out-of-pocket expenses for essential services once the program is fully rolled out.
Just this morning, we saw a fine example of all the agencies, not all, but many of the agencies coming together to do what we call, Caribbean Wellness Day activities and sports at Soufrière. Again, we are trying to bring all the agencies together in a One Health approach, the private sector, the public sector, the hospitals, everyone together, so that the objective is always to reduce out-of-pocket costs for St. Lucians. And our vision is a healthcare sector where the individual goes to access the health center or the hospital, and they do not have to pay out of pocket. We are going to have a system where we'll have a universal health coverage authority, and that authority will process those payments, ensure that the government contributes to it, and other private sector agencies contribute. In addition to this, we have started reforming and reorganizing the infrastructure. Health centers all around St. Lucia, the St. Jude Hospital, the Owen King EU Hospital with the 5th wing, and so many other facilities around St. Lucia. We are restructuring, refurbishing, and modernizing.
Reaffirming one of the government's key pledges, Minister Jean-Baptiste declared that the long-awaited St. Jude Hospital will be delivered by the end of this year. He insisted that this milestone would mark a turning point in healthcare delivery for the south of the island and further cement the Labour Party's record of investment in health and the well-being of citizens.
Well, we will be in St. Jude Hospital, as the Prime Minister says all the time, before the end of this year. We are very excited. Nous allons St. Jude à Valonné à bout avec nos travail wed, contracteur qui travaille wed, il a fait un beau travail avec toutes ces consultantes là pour nous à St. Jude. Moi-même, Zawela, si vous allez là, la belle tellement, Mélanie travail qu'a fait toujours, nous allons finir tout de suite.
Jean-Baptiste believes that St. Lucia's health sector must remain top priority, and universal access to care is the future his government is determined to secure. For the Hot 7 TV News, Oliviera Edward reporting.
When we return, government commits to continue to invest in the nation's youth, and the peer administration credited for prudent management of the economy. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
If I would have known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would have made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would have given anything to say goodbye. My big bro, the general, Jay. 21 gun salute, I'll see you soon on the other side. If I would have known, if I would have known, I'd have broke parole and come home sooner. If I would have known.
It was my daughter's first day at her new job. So I got her her favorite, and I needed the perfect flower pot to put it in. And I got her just the one. Beautiful and manufactured locally by Bryce and Company.
Forever moments, creating lasting beauty from Bryce Plastics.
Every bed in our hospitals tells a story of someone's mother, someone's brother, someone's friend. And when that story of care is complete, it's time for the next chapter, home. But too often, discharged patients are left waiting hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, not because they want to stay, but because no one comes. We understand life gets busy, But every extra day they wait means another patient, perhaps in pain, perhaps in crisis, can't get the bed they desperately need. So when the call comes that your loved one is ready, please be ready too. Pick them up, bring them back to the comfort of family, where healing truly continues. Because caring doesn't end at discharge, it continues with you. A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs.
Do you feel like you're drowning in debt? Have your sources of income been severely impacted and you have nowhere to turn? The St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited is here to save. With our rescue plan, we can consolidate your debt obligations into one easy-to-manage loan with affordable payment terms tailored to keep you afloat. Contact us today at 453-2538 in Castries or 454-7802 in Viewfort for further details. The St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited, an educated choice.
I don't even know where to begin. I was referred to Dynamic Spine Center after seeing so many doctors, and it's been amazing. They treat you like a human being and actually care about me. I've never had a doctor's experience like that before. I actually look forward to going for my adjustments. This is just an overall wonderful place. Getting my spine free of subluxations, I understand it's essential for optimizing my health. My health is wealth and a choice. My chiropractor analyzes and detects, locates, and corrects my subluxations that led to my neck and lower back pain, chest pain, and indigestion and shortness of breath. Chiropractic adds years to life and life to years. Thank you guys at Dynamic Spine Center for everything you did to have me enjoying life again.
Dynamic Spine Center, a place to maximize nerve integrity for optimum health. Call 486-600-0000.
Now you can take Hot FM, Kiss FM, and Hot 7 TV with you wherever you go. Whether you're in St. Lucia or exploring our four corners of the globe. Our record-breaking app has already been downloaded over 500,000 times on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time, anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features, like our live in-studio option, where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. St. Lucia is now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected.
This is the Hot 7 Night News.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to St. Lucia's young people, declaring that his government has delivered in tangible ways that directly impact the youth population.
In an assessment of his government's programs and initiatives for the nation's youth, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has pointed to policy initiatives and new investments geared toward education, entrepreneurship, and empowerment.
Let's talk about young people. Let's dive with the young people. That's where we want to go. Let's go to the young people. Education. 4 GXC subjects being paid. No facility fees. More scholarships, both in terms of first generation scholarships and 1 university per graduate scholarships. Repairs to schools. Training of teachers. Ensuring that the teachers get their material grant. Paying teachers during summer. Paying temporary teachers for summer. Education again. TVET. 4 TVET centers to ensure that students get properly trained in the skills for the job market. Education again. Train overseas for teachers. Education. I'm talking about young people. Grants to early child centers. Help payment the fees for parents to help their children to go to early childhood centers. I'm talking about education. 4 new schools being extended as we speak. 4. And you can view it for yourself.
Pierre also emphasized the strides made by the Youth Economy Agency, which he said has already supported over 1,000 young people with grants to invest in their own business ventures. He describes the initiative as a cornerstone of his government's vision to empower the next generation through innovation and self-employment.
Let's go into economic activity. The Youth Economy Agency. More than 1,000 grants given to young people. They bought equipment. Next day we gave it to them. They got the grant. They got it in their hands. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't something that we said we would give them. They had it in their hands. Go to the Youth Economy Agency and ask them to let you visit these young people who got these loans, who expanded their business. The number of young people who their businesses have grown because of these grants. The training that they get. Next, on the 26th, there'll be a training for them in e-commerce to help them market their goods. They're working with the Taiwanese government with them. All the training that they got in running the business, it happened. You attended the programs. You saw the young people there. You saw them. So they get training at TVET and then they can go into their own business. So we talk about commercial and economic activity. Then sports. The Professional Football League, a match was played yesterday. The people got their salaries. They got their salaries at the end of September. They get at the end of August. They got their salaries. The players got money in their pocket.
The Prime Minister stressed that these interventions reflect a deliberate policy to ensure that St. Lucian's young people are not left behind, but rather placed at the forefront of national development. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Novita Emmanuel Green.
Meanwhile, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and the Youth Economy, Wayne Gerard, is crediting the Philip J. Pierre administration with steering St. Lucia away from what he described as the brink of collapse when it took office in 2021. Speaking on the government's economic management, Gerard pointed to stronger growth, surpluses, and resilience in the face of global uncertainty.
Wayne Gerard, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and the Youth Economy, says when the St. Lucia Labour Party assumed office in July of 2021, the country's finances were in a fragile state. He further stated that youth unemployment was unacceptably high and so measures had to be taken to correct this.
When we got into government in July 2021, the debt to GDP ratio was 100% as of December 31st, 2021. And this is a significant metric because it points to the relationship between what the government earns and what the government spends. We found ourselves in a situation where that was the situation. We also had a serious issue of youth unemployment and also general unemployment, which is also a major issue. So the Prime Minister sat with us and says these are not acceptable metrics. He promised the people of St. Lucia he will deliver for them, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we stabilize the finances of the country.
Gerard explained that 15% of the nation's annual revenue was going solely toward interest payments, a burden that could have forced St. Lucia into an IMF program.
The other very interesting metric we need to bear in mind is to point to the significance of what the Prime Minister has achieved. Is 15% of our revenues was going towards servicing interest. Any other country in the OECS who went through that similar situation had to resort to the IMF. So it points to the steady hand and the leadership of the Prime Minister that he was able to bring us back from the brink to a situation where now we're having surpluses for the last several years. We've also been able to grow this economy since 1992 at a consistent rate of about 3%. Another remarkable feat. We in the Ministry of Finance believe that we need to prepare St. Lucia not only for today, but what's going to be coming down the horizon. We are. If anyone wants to be fair, look at the news. We are operating now in a bit of a fog of uncertainty. It is a very difficult place to be in. Every morning you wake up, either there's a new tariff announcement, there is a new issue somewhere in the world that causes significant pressure on us.
On crime, Gerard emphasized that tackling the issue requires addressing root causes like inequality and lack of opportunity, not just enforcement. He warned that bouts of global uncertainty require responsible management, stressing that recklessness in the affairs of state is not an option. The minister insists the focus remains on building a stronger St. Lucia for future generations.
We would like to do a lot more for the people of St. Lucia, but we need to be responsible and refrain from being reckless, which is some of the words referred to the former Minister of Finance, Prime Minister. We aim to put into social programs nothing to allow us to be tough on the causes of crime. We're not making excuses for crime, but the point of the matter is we need to be tough on crime and also tough on the causes of crime. We need to make as much as possible the avenues available for every St. Lucian who is well-meaning to aspire to what they want to aspire. Being on the block is not the only option for you in this country at this point in time. Yes, there are issues, and I'm no specialist in crime, so I won't spend too much time speaking specifically about it. But what I do recognize is we have created the avenues for every young person in this country, whether they want to start up their own business, pursue educational training, mentorship, holding of hands, whatever it is they require, we've made sure we've made ourselves available.
Gerard asserts that the government's record of stability and growth is proof that St. Lucia has been pulled back from the brink of collapse. But with global uncertainty still a factor, he believes prudent management and long-term planning are critical in safeguarding the country's future. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with more news.
The Super 6 jackpot is now $210,000. Have you played?
The Ministry of Agriculture presents World Food Day under the distinguished patronage of the Honorable Alfred Prosper. Figlases Sanutut Sonutut Saut, Lakai IRDC grounds, Denry, on the 12th of October from 11 a.m. onwards. The Banana and Plantain Festival. Sa Pakai Normal. Eat what you grow up is food in Port Bill Nutoho. Everything produced from bananas and plantain by agro-processors and students. St. Lucie, that's the way to go. Lots of booths with delicious dishes. Lisha Duet, Parmache Saladi Entertainment Gala, Impulse Man, Umpa, Servants, Ezra, Invader, Mofire, Wuletete, and lots more. Like I sit near Kids Zone. So children, you're not on your own. Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best.
Figlases Sanutut, Figlases Sanutut.
Pass me the man dance all and soca, rock and roll and a crossover. Long time I tell them I'm the real controller.
Everywhere, watch him jam you.
I come out here to get miserable. Boy, boy, boy. I come out here to get miserable. I feeling to just become something and do people.
The second half of Season 2 is here, and Pereira and Company is back to reignite your passion for sports. Join Reds Pereira and his all-star lineup of guests as they dive into the heart of athletic excellence, sharing untold stories, powerful journeys, and the raw drive behind every triumph. From trending sports news to unforgettable moments that put you right in the action, each episode delivers insight, energy, and emotion that redefine what sports television can be. Catch it every other Thursday on Hot 7 TV after the evening news, simulcast on Kiss FM with a Sunday rebroadcast following the church service and telebituaries, while streaming live on the Hot 7 TV Facebook page and our new YouTube channel. Don't just watch the game, feel the fire, live the thrill, and celebrate the spirit of sport with Barrera and Co.
Barrera and Company is brought to you with the kind compliments of Laboratory Services and Consultations Limited and supported by Bellevue Hotel and Scott Sports and Awards.
Join us every Thursday from September 4th on Hot 7 from 9:30am to 10:30am. Don't miss this great opportunity to make life-benefiting changes to preparing meals.
Looking for the best way to advertise? Stop searching. Hot 7 TV gives you more reach, more impact, and more value. Get your business in front of the right audience and watch your sales soar. Don't miss out. Call 452-6040 today and take advantage of our exclusive advertising packages. Hot 7 TV, smart advertising for smart businesses.
The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
This is...
Thanks for staying with us. The St. Lucia Kings 2025 CPL journey has come to an end after falling short in qualifier number 2 against Trinbago Knight Riders. Despite the exit, the team's spirited campaign has earned widespread praise from fans, officials, and even the Prime Minister, who commended the Kings for their fight and resilience in the regional T20 tournament.
The St. Lucia Kings exited the 2025 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League after failing to progress beyond the qualifying rounds. Despite the loss, the team and fans are heaping praises on the Kings for a hard-fought and spirited campaign. In Qualifier 1 on September 17th, the Kings lost to Guyana Amazon Warriors by 14 runs at Providence, having made a strong push during the match, including a fiery half-century from Carrie Pierre, who scored 50 off 29 balls, and a late cameo by Tamal Mills of 30 off 14 balls. The Kings fell short of the required target. They then faced the Trinbago Knight Riders in Qualifier 2, where a challenging chase ended in a 56-run defeat. Coach Darren Sammy weighed in on the team's fortunes.
You know, in sports, if you don't handle your business, you get punished. And I think since we left home, we've not been able to play that brand that brought us the success. Coming here in Guyana, I think we've lost 3 games here. The inability of us adjusting to different conditions here in Guyana played a massive part. Today's game, you know, winning the toss, doing what we wanted to do. I thought we didn't execute well at all in the power play. Then allowing, I think, 6 or so overs of 15 plus on that surface was way too many runs being scored. But even though halfway 190 odd, we still have the confidence if we back well. We are a team that could chase that total. We didn't again have that intent to score, being being brave. It would take some bravery, something we've showed throughout the season. And again, Trinidad, like I said, it would have taken a lot of effort to really defeat them. And to be honest, if I have to be really critical, over the last 4 games, the way we've played, we didn't deserve to be in the finals. And that's exactly what happened. The display, the lack of responsibility. If I go back to that first qualifier, 157 to get against Guyana. The way we went about it, very responsible. We should have won that game. But again, we only have ourselves to blame. However, if I look back on the season, we did so many great things, especially at home. The fans, St. Lucia Kings fans, I can't keep stressing and thanking you guys. You all turn up at home for us. I think it's been our best CPL at home to date. Just being at the stadium, seeing everybody in the blue, supporting the team performing. I think that was the highlight of the CPL for me. So for that, I want to thank St. Lucia for turning up, continuing to support us throughout everything.
Although the Kings showed early promise in some phases, the opposition's strong batting and bowling performance ultimately sealed their fate. Team captain David Visa commented on the team's exit from the tournament.
Tough pill to swallow, really. We've done so many good things. We had such a good group stage, finishing the top of the log. We played some fantastic cricket, and unfortunately, we just lost a little bit of momentum towards the back end of the tournament. And it hurts. Don't want to dwell on the negative stuff, though. So many good things were done. So many players did so well. Young Akeem Orgeest really stood up and really put his name up in the lights of this tournament, and he's been rewarded for the call up to the national side. So very proud of him and his development over the last couple of years. To play Shanti, coming back from such a disappointing first game to come in and take wickets for us and lead the bowling attack was really fantastic to see. Austin Chase kept showing us why he's a world-class player. Tim Seifert, was just Mr. Consistent for us. There were so many good things that happened for us throughout this campaign, which unfortunately we just couldn't string it together towards the back end. But yeah, that's life, that's cricket. To you guys, thank you very much for all your support throughout the whole season. It's really meant a lot to us. Those games in St. Lucia was electric. It's really carried us in those games, gave us all of the momentum going out of St. Lucia, and we heard you guys, we felt you guys' support throughout the tournament wherever we were, and just a big thank you very much. I know it's disappointing, but the guys tried their best, and they will be back next year. I promise you that. St. Lucia Kings will come back harder and stronger next year. Until the next CPL, God bless, take care guys, and again, thank you very much.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre joined fans in praising the Kings for their resolve throughout the season. While disappointment lingers over the elimination, there's an undercurrent of admiration for the team's competitive spirit and the excitement they brought to fans. Fans on social media echoed the same sentiment, recognizing the Kings' valiant fight against strong opponents. Their moments of brilliance and the hope they gave supporters, even if they couldn't secure a spot in the final. Looking ahead, the consensus is that while this season didn't end with a title, it delivered promise. The experience gained in high-pressure games suggests that the team will be one to watch for the next CPL season. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Meanwhile, the Trinbago Knight Riders held their nerve to beat the Guyana Amazon Warriors by 3 wickets in a tense finale of the 2025 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League at a jam-packed Providence Stadium in Guyana, ending a 5-year drought since their last CPL title. Despite a low target set by disciplined Knight Riders, bowling the chase was dramatic, with Kieran Pollard and Akil Hussain playing key roles in securing victory. Despite a spirited fight from the Amazon Warriors, the night belonged to Trinbago, who showcased resilience and composure to clinch the CPL title. St. Lucia is preparing to host the 52nd Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships on September 26th and 27th at the Pavilion in Rodney Bay, Grizzly. More than 250 athletes, coaches, bodybuilders and fitness fanatics from almost 32 countries are expected to compete. This would be the first time the island will host this prestigious IFBB semi-pro event.
St. Lucia will host the 52nd Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships IFBB Semi-Pro on September 26th and 27th at the Pavilion on the Ramp, Rodney Grosley. Former St. Lucia Amateur Bodybuilding and Body Fitness Association President Edmund Sidoni, now serving as a lead on logistics and communications, noted that while preparations are on track, there are minor challenges, but the organizing body will deliver a high-quality event.
Well, the biggest logistical problem is really funded, to be quite frank. The corporate community has not responded in kind. It has been a daunting task, I can assure you that, from inception. And it's a bit disappointing because the magnitude of this event required a significant injection of liquid capital and kind into the event. The government has come through, but we're still below the budgeted projection of $500,000. So, but the event is going to happen at all costs. We're hoping that people could still come on board because, as we said, it must happen. St. Lucia is at the forefront of this.
Sidoni assured that accommodation, transportation, and entry requirements for athletes have been well coordinated and the country is ready to receive participating athletes.
Organizational structures put in place for the event, all is in place now very much so. Venue, athlete preparation, incoming athletes and officials, all these things are in place ready. But there's some other logistics occasioned mainly by the funding situation that is a bit of an issue for now. But as I said, the show must go on. I hope that they could still come on board, some of those who are still on the sideline, and to make this thing as effective as we want.
For the first time, the island will welcome more than 250 athletes, coaches, and delegates from 25 to 32 countries in a showdown of regional sporting excellence with a strong home team of 25 athletes, including seasoned contenders Lawrence Robocop Stevens and Shakim Daniel. Organizers say St. Lucia is poised to make a serious run for the overall team title.
We expect St. Lucians to support the sport. This is a national event, an international event, if you will. And St. Lucia stand a very good chance. We've evaluated as a competitive environment. I believe that the guys will be able to put account of themselves. This is the biggest team ever we ever filled in for that kind of championship. Normally we would go to this event with about at least 5-6 persons. We have close to 20 athletes participating because we have the home advantage. So I anticipate that it will be very good for us. We're therefore urging the public to come to this event to support it because it's about St. Lucia, it's about our national pride, it's about putting our best foot forward.
With preparations well underway, organizers say the upcoming CAC Championships will be more than a contest of strength and physique. It will be a showcase of regional unity and sporting excellence as St. Lucia welcomes athletes from across the Americas and the Caribbean. The call is out for strong local support to ensure the island's first ever hosting of this event leaves a lasting legacy for both bodybuilding and national pride. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Still in the world of sport, Team St. Lucia failed to host Antigua and Barbuda in straight sets at the ECVA Men's Final Four Championship match in St. John's on Sunday night. The 3-0 sweep secured Antigua the gold medal, but for St. Lucia, the tournament was a demonstration of grit, promise and lessons for the future, having taken silver.
The highly anticipated final between the national volleyball teams of St. Lucia and Antigua at the YMCA in Antigua and Barbuda ended with Antigua sealing the win 25-23, 25-19, and 25-15, despite flashes of brilliance and a strong campaign leading into the final. St. Lucia struggled to match the relentless offense of the home team. Antigua's Caron Davis topped the scoring with 17 points, while St. Lucian's standout Clasant Joseph registered 13 in a spirited performance that kept the team competitive in the opening set.
So the biggest positive for this tournament is that we brought in our senior men, those who have been playing the sport for a few years now, who is very knowledgeable in regards to how to maneuver on the court. In regards to falling short, it's not something that we anticipated. We did not, I guess our team did not really fully analyze the tactics that the other team was bringing along. The other team did have some advantages where they had multiple players where we only traveled with 8. So we tried to use that to the best of our abilities in regards to the finals.
For St. Lucia, the loss capped a 3-1 tournament record, matching Antigua's, but falling short when it mattered most. Earlier in the competition, the team impressed with victories, including a 3-1 win over Grenada, showcasing offensive firepower from Tevin Sejan and solid defense coordination. However, the finals exposed areas in execution and consistency that the squad will be keen to address.
They were very important. They were our strongest players. Indeed, these guys have been playing for a while. They've been playing consistently. Mr. Joseph actually is a coach for our under-23 team. So their efforts were acknowledged on the team. They both played more of a captain position. So Joseph had the position. It was really the two of them working together to get to where we wanted to be. Going forward, we're looking into the experience here for this tournament to really motivate our younger men to partake in the sport. So we want volleyball to be something that is growing in the country and not stagnant.
Despite falling short of gold and having to settle for silver, Team St. Lucia leaves Antigua with renewed determination, experience and a clear focus on building towards the future. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Stay with us, the weather report is up next.
The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
At Caribbean Awning, we can protect your livelihood and assets against storms, hurricanes, and intruders with our shutters and roll-up steel doors. We firmly believe that everyone should have access to smarter, higher quality, and affordable security solutions. Caribbean Awning hurricane screens and shutters are Miami-Dade County approved to withstand storms, hurricane pressure, and winds. Our customizable estate gates, fencing, and burglar bars are an attractive and affordable security solution to safeguarding your loved ones and property. Living near sea blast, Caribbean Awning aluminum product line, railing, fencing, and gates are all manufactured from extruded aluminum, providing you with durable, rust-free protection. Our face recognition security system is a cutting-edge technological solution to improve your compound surveillance measures and gives you a peace of mind. Diamond Award-winning Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
And now for the weather report.
Present weather at Urinara Airport is fair. Present weather at George F. Charles Airport is fair. Present temperature at Urinara Airport is 42 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind at Urinara Airport is blowing from the east at 18 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. Rainfall in the 24-hour period that ended at 8 a.m. today. At Urinara Airport, trace. At George F. Charles Airport, 4.4 millimeters. Sunset today, 5:59 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:53 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east and east-southeast near 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. Weather, fair to partly cloudy with a few showers at first, an increase in cloudiness, showers, and a chance of isolated thunderstorms is expected from tonight into tomorrow. Marine forecast foresees in a 25-mile or 40 kilometers radius from St. Lucia. Tides for Castries Harbour, high at 3:51 p.m., low at 10:03 p.m. Tides for Beaufort Bay, high at 4:58 p.m., low at 11:30 p.m. Seas, moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet or 0.9 to 1.5 meters. Tropical weather outlook. An approaching tropical wave is expected to produce cloudiness, scattered showers, and isolated thunderstorms over the region during the forecast period. A second tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour. Gradual development of this wave is possible, and a tropical depression could form by the middle to latter part of this week. A third tropical wave located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour.
And with that, we come to the end of the Hot 7 TV Nightly News for today, Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at midday for our next news media. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Daniela Edwin. Thank you for tuning in and have a good night.
The countdown is on. The 52nd Central American and Caribbean IFBB Semi-Pro Bodybuilding and Fitness Championship is coming to Rodney Bay. Mark your calendars, September 26th and 27th, 2025 at the Pavilion on the Ramp. Witness the region's strongest athletes battle it out on stage. Friday, September 20th.